Hello, I am Sumaira from 10AB2 class, and today I'll be talking about one of the most important psychological experiments of our society, which is called the Robbers Cave experiment. So let's get started. And I want to start my speech with asking the question, have you ever heard the phrase, why can't we all just get along? So I assume probably people with siblings have heard this phrase so much from their parents, because whenever we fight with our siblings, that's usually what our parents tell us. And personally, I can relate. And the experiment that I'll be talking about today exactly covers this topic. So this experiment was conducted to answer the question, can we all get along? And also, the purpose of this study was to create conflict and antagonism between two different groups, and later on, try to solve this issue between them, and try to make them friends again. And this experiment was conducted by Turkish psychologist Muzaffer Sharif in 1954. And let's get some more information about him. So he was born in 1906 in Izmir, Turkey, and he earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree both in his native country, Turkey, and as well as in America. And of course, these degrees earned him a great prestige being known as one of the founders of social psychology around the world. And his works mainly focus on the nature of groups and their members. So he mostly talked about social issues like peer pressure and the psychology, like the human psychology behind antagonism, like behind hostile feelings being developed for someone. And how the experiment started and what was done in the experiment. So the experiment started with two groups of middle-class 11-year-old boys, which were later categorized as rattlers and eagles by the experimenters. And like they were categorized into different teams. And there's something that we should note is that these groups were unaware of each other's existence. So they spent the first week of this 3-week summer holiday, like hiking, swimming, boating, and camping, and, like having fun with each other while doing these interesting activities. And what happened after that was that now they had established separate group identities. So they were like starting to warm up to each other and be close with their teammates and kind of like have biased opinions about each other. And after the first week, now they were brought together with the other team to compete at games like football, treasure hunts, tug of war, and many other events. And of course, the winners were receiving trophies and medals. And all of these were planned and done by Sharif and his team to kind of increase the rate of competitiveness between the teams. So by organizing these competitions, games, and like even giving them medals and trophies, we're actually creating some hostile and harsh behavior in the children. So they were starting to get more we can say more competitive towards each other, and they wanted to win. And later on, even like flags were burned, cabins ransacked, and the food fight escalated into the whole thing. And after creating this whole antagonistic and hostile behavior in the children, lastly, what Sharif and his team had to do was that they had to now reduce the prejudice by like choosing one superordinate task or goal for both of the groups. And this superordinate goal was to move a stall truck that Sharif knew was not in a good condition, as you can see from the picture. And this picture is from the original experiment, by the way. So one group of boys, they were not strong enough to, carry this stalled truck by themselves. And that's why they were forced to ask help from the other group so that they could move the stalled truck. And after the superordinate goal and the task, the two groups became friends, and eventually the previous prejudice and antagonism between them disappeared.